I don't think many people know this, but I am a huge connoisseur of movies. Um, I have like we go a little arg every now and then, but I have watched a few movies in high school where I was like, this has changed my life. And I had really taken a new perspective after watching those movies. Um, and I appreciate it as an art. I used to be in my media pathway when I was in high school before they took it away from us. But I really wanted to go into film or anything related to film as like a hobby. Because I have, as much as I adore people who work in that industry, I personally do not think that I am built for that. I know there are people that are, and kudos to them, love them. But yeah, I really love film. I love cinema. However, I would not consider myself a film critic. However, I have really strong opinions. Recently our college kind of picked up on doing film ratings on the back of our like campus paper. And what do you mean you rate a Halloween Town 2 fucking stars? Did we watch the same movie? Not even like any of the sequels either. It was the original Halloween Town. How do you... Did we watch the same thing? Anyway. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe they were just watching like a really weird released version of it. Like, oh, it was unedited or it was edited and we had like director's cut or whatever. I don't know. I really don't know. Because there's like a group of movies that many people kind of misinterpret. I hate being that kind of person that's like, hey, we should practice media literacy. But we really should practice media literacy, because how can you watch the same movie as me of a girl who is sobbing and crying and literally screaming at the top of her lungs, and you're just laughing at her agony? I mean, at the same time, I do find horror movies kind of cliche, like the stereotypical, like, either I look at it in fascination, like, oh wow, like this is a really interesting plot, like this could happen in real life, that's actually really interesting, how they kind of went about that. Or I'm gonna look at it like a comedy movie, because I can practically predict what's going to happen next, right? Then again, anyways, back to what I was saying. How did we watch Fight Club and see the guys just being like tough, like, oh my god, he's so cool. I want to be just like him, even though the whole point of the story was that if you keep doing that, you're going to crash and burn. You're gonna end up wanting to kill yourself, dude. That's essentially what Fight Club is about, how the novel is about. American Psycho, everybody's... Okay, so it's supposed to be a satire, right? Even the author of the original media was like, all of you are interpreting this wrong. I do not like any of this. But you know what? He's just letting it roll because he also wants money, and that's okay. And that's okay. But it's a satire of a Wall Street guy who ends up driving himself crazy with toxic masculinity and a combination of delusional behavior, grandeur, and like psychosis. It's like psychosis is a big interpretation of that movie and the source book. However, some people just kind of look at it and go like, oh my god, he's just like me for real. Okay. I don't think you would want to be like him. He's not someone you're supposed to be looking up to. I'm not even including the serial killer part. Like, I'm talking about, like, he's not really a serial killer, he's a spree murderer. But, yes, there is a difference. But essentially, there's just, I don't know how to, like, say it to you. Like, just to be nice. I don't know how to put this down gently. He's an asshole. You should not really do that. And I don't know, maybe I'm hypocritical. Like, I really look up to certain video game characters that are not the best people ever, like Nicole from Class of '09. But that comes from, like, just not just me being me. But I don't look up to her like 110% though, like some people do. Like, anyway, there's this one movie that people are watching, and as much as I also have celebrity crushes, I don't understand how you can watch a movie of substance and only go, oh my gosh, this actor was so hot in this movie. Like, can we put down the rose-colored glasses for just a single second and go look at the bigger picture? Like, that's what the actor wants of you. That's the whole point of the movie. It's just to highlight what's actually going on. Yeah, sure, he's in it, but he's in it for a reason, not only to get that bag, but also to highlight the grand story. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. I watched Ruby Sparks in high school, and I loved it so much that I got the script online and I read through it and I annotated it, and I loved it so much. And everybody looked at that movie and went, oh, Paul Dano. Oh my god, he was so hot in this movie. And then I've got people saying, oh my gosh, this was such a sweet romance movie. Was it? Was it really? And some people will go, oh, but those are like the male viewers. They don't get it. They don't get it because the writer was a female. Like, the actual screen writer was the female. It's not even just the guys. It's also the girls who look at this movie because they love Paul Dano so much that they completely ignore the whole purpose of the movie, and that is to highlight abusive relationships and to highlight what it's like for male writers to write female characters. They have no substance. They are all stereotype. They are all mental illness. They are all always perceived as this fictional perfection. And it was highlighted in the movie, like, Calvin, that isn't a girl. That isn't a real girl. And he's fallen in love with this person that he's written and only sees her as, like, he can rewrite her, and abusive, manipulative behavior. He could rewrite her to who he wants her to be. He wanted her to be more clingy. Well, she becomes overly clingy. That's exactly what he wanted, right? He wanted her to be, I don't know. I forgot, like, a good amount of what he changed, but I just remember that one scene at the very end where, oh my god, Zoe was amazing in this. Where she was, like, being told what to do, and she's realizing that she is fictional. She's being rewritten in real time, and she's tired of it. Calvin basically tells her to jump up and bark like a dog and start speaking in Spanish, start speaking in French. And she's just like, what are you making me do? Am I not my own person anymore? And everybody was like, okay, well, maybe the ending is up for interpretation, right? But then, as someone who has seen this happen to people in my life, that is the cycle of abuse. Her manifesting as a real life person and coming into Calvin's life, him seeking her out, and them going on some type of relationship journey again. That is the cycle of abuse. And I am sick of pretending that it was this wholesome slice of life romantic comedy. And there's a lot of movies that you can really look at that people are misinterpreting. And maybe it's just like, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just too, like, I'm not saying that everybody else's interpretations are wrong, like, wholly. I believe that everyone is subject to their own opinion and interpretation of movies. But there are just some movies where the message is very clear in your face. Like, the message can be, this is wrong. And many people can take it different ways based on their cultural background, or basically cultural background, or like their experiences. And they can say, oh, this is right. And that's fine. It's just baffling to me as someone who, I wouldn't say that I'm a film critique, like I said earlier, but someone who consumes media in general. Because right now, my generation is being fed with propaganda on both sides. You're supposed to believe this, you're supposed to believe that. But you're looking at one thing and we are not looking at the whole picture. And that is the problem with my generation, and just looking, like, not even in my generation, but with society in general, looking at, I feel like the Joker, society, but just looking at media as a whole. And when I say I want media literacy, I want people to look at multiple sources, get sources from a diverse group of people and not just your inner circle, or like a very niche sphere of people on your For You page, or whatever your algorithm gives you. It is tailored to be for you, and that's not something I like. I like going everywhere. I'm a very curious person. I talk to people that disagree with each other all the time. But I never really cause drama, but I just think that maybe we have got to look at the bigger picture, and not just these certain aspects of the movie. We shouldn't fixate on someone being like overly hot or whatever. Or that's Resident Evil fans, where you at? But yeah, and I don't think we should fixate on those type of people either. Like, let them enjoy what they enjoy. You can educate them on like your standpoint, but still, just don't be rude, guys. This was such a weird rant of mine. This will probably never happen again.